No, go ahead. Thank you so much. Oh, are you unmuted?
I'm back.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I don't know if it kicked anyone else off, but it kicked me off, so that's fine. Perfect. And now we can see your face. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started talking about the Customer First program. But just to finish what I was saying about creating consultants this week, just really take this opportunity to take advantage of the $30 off. That's huge for your people getting started. And cleansing with friends is always better, right? Doing this with friends is always better. People always love programs and communities doing that together. So really help them with that and help them be able to have the best experience possible. So diving into the Customer First program. So as I mentioned, this is the biggest initiative in Isagenix history and really is just focused on the motto that Kathy Coover put out there, that if it's not right for the customer, it's not right for the company. And that's just really important to the entire team at Isagenix and corporate and across all of Isagenix, is that we really are mindful of the customer. So numerous pieces are being started with this customer initiative. And one of the things is that it's now going to be easier for new customers to join. You're going to see changes to the websites, to the back office, and it's just going to really create a smooth process that's just going to put it at ease and be a lot easier for them and a lot easier for you as you're helping people get started. All of this is going to launch on March 27th. So we have a little bit of time, and that's why they've started talking about this now, because with so many changes, we want to make sure that everyone has time to be able to get their questions answered and really make sure that they know this program so that as they get started with their customers, they can provide a good experience as well. So we're going to go through three things. We're going to go through an overview of the program, and then we're going to share some of the recommended best practices for your business success, and then we'll have a little bit of Q&A available for you. So one of the biggest changes is going to be that there's now 3 types of accounts. So you're going to have there's customers, preferred customers, and associates. So the first type is a customer. Now a customer is someone, we have not had this before, and a customer is someone that would be enrolled in your tree, so a little bit different than retail, but there's no membership fee, there's no auto ship, but they do not get wholesale pricing. They would get 10% off of the retail price, which comes to about $336 plus shipping for a 30-day system, just to give you an example. And they're not eligible for any other discounts, like the 3 for free shipping, 10% off if you buy 6 of the same item, any of that stuff. So they're not eligible for any of those things. It would basically be just like a committed retail customer. So it's probably not the best choice for someone, but it is available there for maybe a special circumstance. And then the next level to consider is the preferred customer. So we all have heard of preferred customers before, but a little bit of this is changing. So again, this would be someone enrolled, and they would be paying the $29 fee if they have auto ship, or $39 if they don't have auto ship. And they would get the wholesale pricing. So for a 30-day system, it'd be back at that $272 pricing plus their shipping and their tax. And these individuals are eligible for rewards. So they would be eligible for 3 for free, for 10%, they would be eligible for those items. But they are not associates, so they would not be eligible to receive any benefits in the Isagenix compensation plan. And then we have the regular associates, which we all know, and they're eligible for the entire compensation plan. So the main one that we'll want to go more into is the preferred customer. So as always, with a preferred customer, you don't have to have the social security number, you don't have to have a date of birth, but there's some new additions to a preferred customer. So preferred customers will now earn what's called product introductory rewards. And this is the same concept as our product introductory bonuses, but these are coupons for Isagenix products. So consider if you have a preferred customer who refers a friend, and they join with a 30-day system, then they will be eligible for a $25 product introductory reward, PIRs. You'll hear the term PIRs a lot. They are also eligible for double PIRs. So if they were to refer 2 friends in the same week, just like we see for our double PIVs, they would be eligible for double PIRs. So it's the same concept, but they're only product coupons. And one of the main keys about this too is also consider, before when somebody would use an IsaBody coupon or when somebody would use the 10% off, you would see subtractions in the BV, correct? Well, with these product introductory rewards, you don't see a subtraction in the BV moving up the upline. So these would not affect the BV that you would receive in your compensation plan. So if someone is enrolling double PIRs, this means they're enrolling at least 2 people, right? So you want to think about if somebody's enrolling 2 people, unless they are an associate, they are not going to get the $50 consultant bonus because that's tapping into the compensation plan. So something that you definitely want to consider, that they would receive a $25 coupon for more product, but it's not going to be cash in their pocket, and they won't get that $50. Also, if a preferred customer enrolls multiple people, those people can only be enrolled on their outside leg. Those people will not be enrolled on their inside leg. So if they choose to move over to an associate, they would still need to enroll more people to become a consultant. They would not automatically become a consultant because they have 2. So that's something to consider. If you had someone in that situation, you would probably want to have a discussion before they hit that threshold of having 2 friends joining them. And then we have our associates, obviously. So associates changes for the associates. Now, preferred, these are a couple of nice changes for all of us who are associates. So think about, you might have a couple of preferred customers in your tree. These preferred customers can get you to consultant status. So before you had to have 1 associate on the left and 1 associate on the right, one of those can be a preferred customer. So if you had 1 associate and a preferred customer or 2 preferred customers, because you are an associate, can still reach consultant status. There's also a change to the BV required to be a consultant. So to be a consultant, currently you have to have 100 BV on your account, 100 BV on account on your left, and 100 BV on your account on the right, correct? So the change now is you still need 100 BV on your own account so that you're active, but then you just need 100 BV from your personally enrolled on each side. So consider, here's an example. If you have, say, 1 person on your left who orders 100 BV and 1 person on your right, or multiple people on your right, say, ordering a canister. So maybe you have, someone ordering 27, someone ordering 27, 27, 27. As long as it adds up to 100, you still keep your consultant status. So that's a really nice change. You might have some people who just order a canister here and there, and people can still get their consultant status out of that. So the main changes as an associate for all of you is that you are able to have preferred customers to reach consultant status, and the BV, as long as it adds up to 100, you will be able to have consultant status. All right, so it's a lot of information, guys. So March 27th, launch date, like I said. So a couple things to consider before that launch date as well. Current inactive associates. So because this March is on March 27th, anyone in your tree who has not had a purchase on their account in the last 90 days, that night when we flip over to March 27th, the payday, so remember if you're on Pacific Standard Time, that's going to be 9 p.m. on March 26th. But anyone who has not had a purchase for the last 90 days, they'll immediately change to a preferred customer. And after March 27th, if someone does not engage in business building activities for 180 days, they will turn to a preferred customer. So whether that's they enroll someone, they receive compensation, so that could be maybe they have a cycle happen, that's compensation, or they rank advance. So if any of those things happen, they'll still stay an associate, but if they don't have any of those things happen in 180 days, they will flip to a preferred customer. So it's a lot to think about. There's a lot of changes. I think, the main thing to think about is that it's really going to be mostly business as usual. I mean, it's going to be nice to have those BV changes as far as, some of your maybe smaller builders or people who have just referred a few people, to be able to get some rebate money. Those people will have an easier time just keeping consultant status and getting a couple cycles here and there because they might have those people just ordering a few things. That's going to be really nice. So let's think about some best practices, and then we'll open up for some questions because I know that you probably have some questions. So I want you to think about how many preferred customers you currently have in your tree compared to how many people you've enrolled. And when I think about that, and most people I talk to, they probably have maybe one or two out of all the people they've enrolled. And I talked to a few different of the builders on the team, and they've probably enrolled 30, 40 people and maybe have one preferred customer. So you think about people don't typically object to the social security number, that sort of thing, unless, we make it weird. We've talked through that before. So really think about that when you want to provide your people with the best option, if they're open to it, let's enroll them business as usual. Let's set them up for the most success so that way they don't miss out on that $50. They don't miss out on, other opportunities. I want you to think about how many of you started with this business or in Isagenix for the opportunity. I know last year when we went to the retreat, the executive retreat with Laura, and there were about 50 of us in the room, and she asked who started this for the business. And maybe one person, two people really started it for the business. So you think about it, people most likely will not say that they are starting for the business, right? But when we talk to people about getting just a little bit of cash back in their pocket, and if you imagine if you wouldn't have gotten that $50 consultant bonus, that bit of rebate money or whatever it is, that might have changed your perspective. So for a lot of people, it's just getting that little bit of cash in their pocket for them to really feel the benefit and to really see what this opportunity can provide for them. So really think about that when you're enrolling people and being able to set them up with the best option possible for them. And then look at your own business center. I want you to think about how many of you have consultants in your business that just have their two people that are just real happy where they're at. They just wanted to get some money back. If those people are not associates, they wouldn't be your consultants, right? And I know that in my own business center and most business centers that I know, I wouldn't be an executive right now if those people were not consultants. So that's something to really think about is that, you really have to have those people at consultant status, which means they have to be an associate for you to be able to rank advance to manager, to director, to executive. So my recommendation would be really just encouraging you to continue the same way that you have, where you're still gathering all the information. You do have at least an opportunity for where there is a huge objection or where people are not really open to, sharing a social security number. At least those people can still get some coupons back. But outside of that, you're able to still get people cash in their pocket. And that's really what people need. They need the financial freedom, and they need the money. So just really think about that when you're deciding what to do with your business. So at this point, that's the bulk of the details. They have a website that's called isagenixcustomerfirst.com. There's a little FAQ, there's a little overview sheet. Most of this information comes from those sort of things. We had a call with corporate last week, and there's a little introductory video, but this will be a lot of the information you need. And then every Thursday until this launches, which is March 27th, so there's 3 Thursdays until then, there's a Zoom call link on there. that you can jump on and have questions answered, because they really want to make sure you guys are prepared, that you know this information so that you don't have to worry about it. So the Zoom call is every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So you can jump on there if you have questions. And even if you're just unsure of some things, you can take that opportunity to just listen to questions other people have. Maybe they had questions you hadn't thought of, and it would give you a really good chance to kind of rack your brain and think about those things. So I'm going to answer the questions in the chat first, and then people can unmute and ask a question. So the first one says, is there a fee to change from PC to associate? There's not a fee right now because we have not had preferred customers who didn't have to pay before, right? So we never had that customer option where they did not have to pay a fee. So to be able to switch over from a preferred customer to an associate, because a preferred customer still pays, they won't have to pay an extra fee. All they'll have to do is go into their back office, which their back office will look a little bit different because they aren't an associate, but they'll have a spot that they can actually click the box to be able to move forward with entering their information and turn over to an associate. Yeah, to the PC to reach consultant. Let's see. Cycling BB on each side stays the same. Yes, so no changes to the compensation plan related to needing 600 on one side, 300 on the other, all of that equaling 54, all of that remains the same. They didn't make any changes to the actual compensation plan. They wanted to make sure that they kept that intact because, again, it's so important to them. If it's not right for the associate, it's not right for the company, and they really want to make sure that they support us and that we all know, that we all can rest assured that that's not going to change on us. This would mean that the only rank you can reach with preferred customers will be consultants, since they can't technically enroll associate. Correct. Yes, Lisa, correct. So you could reach consultant with preferred customers, but you would not be able to go any further unless you have associates that will turn into consultants. So consider that it's a lot easier, when you think about it, it's a lot easier to get the social security number and the birthday at the time of enrollment, as opposed to coming back later and asking for that. So also no change to the Social Security requirement. I will ask because of the previous swelling rumors about that changes. So it is a change to the Social Security requirement in the fact that there are benefits for a preferred customer to receive the coupons, receive those benefits in the position that they're in. And also the difference is that we have people without Social Security numbers, they can help us reach consultant status. It's just that they cannot help us reach beyond consultant status. Thanks, Lisa. You're so nice. Oh, yes, this is such a great question. Rachel said, will we bank a customer BV if they enroll on their own through our personal webpage? Yes, you will. Just as always, yes, we do right now, and you will as usual. You do get the BV if they do that. One thing that I did not mention, but it did trigger that, which is a really good point. The preferred customers, as of right now, today, preferred customers do not accumulate BV, correct? And then even when they transfer over to an associate, if they do, they start at 0. Well, in the new program, for the first 90 days, a preferred customer will accumulate the BV on their personally enrolled only. So not on, if you're adding people below them, they would not accumulate that BV, but they will accumulate on their personally enrolled for the first 90 days. And then after 90 days, it will still hold that BV for another 90 days if they choose to switch over to an associate. But after that time period, then that will drop to 0 and it would just be like it is today. I'm sorry, did I hear there's no fee to be a preferred customer? Good question. There is a fee to be a preferred customer. So $39 if there's no auto ship, $29 if there is auto ship. So the same as right now, but there is a new category, the customer, which is sort of a step below that, where there's no fee, but they don't get wholesale pricing and they're not eligible for other rewards. They're not eligible for the coupons. They're not eligible for 3 for free shipping. They're not eligible for anything. They just get 10% off of their orders and they're in a spot in your tree, but that is the only benefits to a customer. So really, we're not doing them any favors, considering the $29 when you look at the price of a 30-day pack. They really pay for their $29 in that first pack, right? I mean, they're going to spend more than that if they only get 10% off retail. So I would really encourage them to at least, go to preferred customer, and then obviously associate is the best option, but they are better off getting wholesale pricing than being set up without getting that wholesale pricing and just not paying $29. Oops, on my page. Would preferred customers still accumulate members in their placement tree? Yes, they do. So there will still be members placed below them in the placement tree. Anyone that you add to the tree is placed there, but they will only accumulate the BV on their personally enrolled for the first 90 days. So there might be people added there, but they will not get any of that BV until they choose to become an associate. When do crystal dates begin? That's a really good question. So the crystal dates for a preferred customer begin the day that they switch to an associate. So that would be their day that would start their 120 and 180 days. These are really great questions, you guys. Okay, do you guys have any other questions? If you want, feel free to type it in, or you can unmute yourself and shout it out. Either way, happy to answer any questions. It's a lot of information. Definitely take a little time to check out that isagenixcustomerfirst.com. But this will be really exciting because it really just helps the company, make sure that we're giving as many options as we can to people. And it's amazing for all of us to be able to, for those people just starting out, that they can become a consultant, and the BV changes, all of that is just really nice. And especially the changes to the websites, I am really excited about. That's going to be really nice. So let's see, Jenny Osgood, for those that are currently inactive or will be switched over to preferred customer, does their crystal date start when they become an associate again? Good question. It does not. They do not start over with their crystal dates. That's a really good question. So they will remain with their same date as before. Lori, it will be interesting to see how the tree looks on March 27th, see what might become consultant since PCs count. Yeah, that's what I thought about too. There might be some people you'll see flip to consultants that had preferred customers before. Melissa, can a preferred customer enroll as an associate? Yes, so there will be a spot in their back office, which will look a little bit different than our back office, and it will have a spot for them to click to proceed as an associate. They'll be able to then enter their information and flip over to an associate from there. The website, I'll type it in here, isagenixcustomerfirst.com. That'll help. So it's typed out.
Hi,
so
can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm driving, so I can't type my question.
You're fine.
I just had a question because my husband, I have him enrolled like on my right leg, and he just has 2 people under him when we made him consultant, but he's not active because the 2 people under him aren't consistently ordering. So if he drops back to a preferred customer and then we need him to be consultant again, is it just as easy as going in there and switching it back?
Yes, correct. Exactly. Then you would just be able to go in and change him back to a associate. And so, yes, you'll just be able to click the box that you want to become an associate and be able to add the social security number and the date of birth at that time. So you can do that. I would just make sure that he did have an order in the last 90 days to make sure, well, then he would stay an associate, or if he drops back down, you can move him up. It's not as big a deal with your spouses, because you can easily do that, but it might be kind of an awkward conversation for someone who's just randomly in your tree. So it might be helpful to have that conversation now with them, that if they want to keep the benefits that they've had so far and be able to still get cash back if they choose to down the line, if they were just able to place an order, then they would be able to keep that benefit. It doesn't have to be 100 BV either. It just has to be an order in the last 90 days. Lisa.
So, well,
Yes.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
He does order, but do the people under him have to order? Because, I mean, him ordering his own orders, does that count as an income producing activity?
Oh, good question. So he will stay an associate for the first, the first 180 days he will stay an associate because he has activity on his account with his orders. But if he doesn't accumulate one cycle or enroll someone, then after 180 days, he will bump down to a preferred customer. So maybe it would be a matter of figuring out, can we get him one cycle? Can we get him one person? So it would just need one activity in that 180 days, and he'll remain. And 180 days, it's a long time. It's like 6 months. So it won't be immediate, which is nice. But those are really good questions, Tracy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Lisa, she said a preferred customer can enroll an associate. That's a good question. That's not on the FAQ. I'm not sure. But I can find out about that one for you. That might be something that comes up on Thursday, but I'll message Sean, he's our regional sales manager, and find out that answer because that's a really good question. I would assume that they could because it's simply a different click, but we will see. Will he lose all of his BV if he gets bumped to a PC? Good question. They will keep BV for the first 90 days, and then they will lose the BV. So it gives them the same rules as if somebody comes in as a PC, where they have 90 days that the BV accumulates. So they will get to keep that BV for 90 days. We get the BV from all levels. Yes, we do. So in your business, you will still get BV the same way you always have, whether they're preferred customers, associates, doesn't change any of that. You're still going to get all that BV. And if somebody uses one of those coupons, you're still going to get the BV from there. You won't see that subtracted off. So that's really nice. Can you review what you were saying about having 100 BV total accumulated on the 2 sites to maintain consultant status? Yes, I felt that might be a little bit confusing, and this might be hard for people who are on the phone, but there's a visual right here that I kept up to show you. So if you can see that, this describes a little bit better about the new way that the BV would occur on each side. So here's yourself. You purchase 100 BV. Over here, someone personally enrolled, doesn't matter if they're an associate, if they are a preferred customer, there's 100 BV over here. And then you're personally enrolled over here. Someone did 50 and someone did 50. So because this added up to 100, you kept your consultant status. So I hope that visual helps a little bit. So if someone comes in as an associate and they do not become a consultant in the first 180 days, they are bumped to PC. Good question. So I know that after March 27th, they talked about whoever was already in the tree if they don't have a business building activity in 180 days, but they did not talk about if with someone new. I would assume it's the same, but I will find out that question as well. So I'm going to put that down. And I'm going to put it on the other one, PC enroll. And what I'll do, I'll post these in the Team Anchored Biz page. Can you give us a link to the visual you just showed? Oh yeah, that visual is on isagenixcustomerfirst.com. So it's on that page. Let's see. So Lori, so it's an accumulative 100 BV, not individual. Correct. So it's 100 BV accumulated on each side with your personally enrolled, not individual. So consider, if you're looking at someone's team leg and there's multiple other people there, it has to be their personally enrolled that equal up to 100 BV. Does the 100 days restart every time an income producing activity happens? That's a good question. I will find out that one as well. I would assume so, but I will find out. Perfect. These are great because these are definitely, I know, questions that we all need answered. Okay. Can you guys think of any other questions? Going once. Going twice. Okay, well, good, you guys. I know that was a lot of information, and you might think of more questions later. So don't hesitate to ask, but also, again, those calls on Thursday, those Zoom calls are going to be, there's going to be so much information there. You're going to hear a lot of questions there. So it's really a great opportunity to jump on and just hear what people are asking. Like I said, you guys just in this call came up with these 3 questions that I hadn't thought of either. So this is great. So Melissa, not just maintaining your own BV. Yes, correct, Melissa. Yes, you must have an income producing activity. So you guys, thank you so much. And I just really appreciate you jumping on, and enjoy your Tuesday and the rest of the week. Take advantage of that $30 off. This is a huge opportunity. So really take advantage of that to help your people and make it just another really big, awesome week. Keep that momentum going. And we're going to see everyone have amazing success in the 90-day game plan. So take care and good night.